The European Commission is setting as an objective to expand the rail market by making rail travel more attractive. Distribution is clearly flagged in this regard as a key issue for member states, the rail sector, and the European Commission. The idea is that rail tickets should be made easier to use and to buy. And to this aim, a rail ticketing initiative is planned for 2022 from the European Commission. However, what should be done remains very much open to discussion.
Where we have been investigating, rail travel is, let's say, optimized at domestic level already for a long time. But we also want to look at this from international perspective, and where can rail take over more passengers at medium to long distances. So here you see the picture where our analysis shows that rail should have a good chance of getting more passengers from those destinations which are currently served in many cases by aviation.
Let me just stress that we should work on these IT solutions, but IT is not the problem. It is perfectly possible to have these data platforms work together with middleware, etc. So IT is not the obstacle here to get to what we all look for, a strong common intermodal platform. So then finally, looking forward, what will we do? We will later this year present an action plan on passenger rail, boosting long distance cross-border passenger rail. That will cover many issues, many of the bottlenecks that are left behind after the fourth railway package, and it will include also an action on ticketing. As I said, we are still assessing whether the sector is going to be able to deliver solutions as set out in the sector statement. But if not, we are certainly happy to give it a push.
I have to remember that the rail sector in Europe gets subsidy from government of something between 50 and 100 billion euros a year, and yet claims the right to commercial freedom. You can't have commercial freedom if you're dependent on the state, on public subsidy. The public subsidy is paid for by taxpayers, by citizens, by passengers. We deserve to get the recognition that our money should bring. We need simple, hassle-free travel.
Digital mobility platforms like Trainline are rail tech experts. We are here to develop digital solutions to the sort of problems that Christopher described. We want all carriers in one platform in order to make life easier for passengers.
And we have also built a common database, a common infrastructure for us to share the data necessary to control the tickets. And we have also agreed on a modern version of a barcode that can be used both on paper tickets, but also all the way up to the screen tickets that are now more and more commonplace. And then in the center of this is the distribution and tariff data capabilities. And there we have been working and the first time actually that railways have really been working in a concrete way together with ticket vendors such as Trainline, Amadeus, and others on a common set of technical specifications that allow everybody to access the ticketing data of railways. It's called
incumbent operators particularly have I think, an unhealthy relationship with their sponsoring national governments. Now, why is it I can't buy a through ticket between London and Berlin anymore? Frankly, it's because the interfaces between the SNCF-dominated systems and the Deutsche Bahn-dominated systems are now incompatible. Thank you.
Alexander, let me get you to respond to that question that was posed. Is distribution too important to be done by the operators?
Okay, let me answer this like that. We are customer focused. Believe me. It is at the core of our thinking is the customer. what we need to differentiate, I think, is domestic market versus cross-border market here. At SBB, the international the international passenger traffic accounts for roughly about 10% of the entire passenger traffic. This is by international standards a lot. Yeah? There are other countries where international traffic is about 5% or even less of the entire cake. So 10% is already a lot, but there's 90% that is made up by the domestic traffic. Yeah. So if we want to make good use of our taxpayers' money, obviously we are also expected to focus on domestic markets first and foremost.
What effect has rail liberalization, and thinking in particular in the UK, had on distribution platforms? Has it helped or hurt the situation? Do third-party independent rail operators, having more of them who are private, does that make it actually easier or more difficult?
So I think of it the other way around. I think that independent distributors have helped liberalization. So the reason that the passenger numbers have grown or one of the reasons passenger numbers have grown in the UK over the last 10 years, leaving COVID aside, is because there is a thriving distribution sector, an independent distribution sector, and Christopher mentioned it, where the retailer is the specialist retailer.
We need to make sure that independent ticket sellers have the possibility to network into all operators' booking systems and have the possibility to legally book through tickets, where the traveler have the certainty that they will get to the end destinations and that the operators will sort out the financial complications of delays between themselves, as it's currently happening for aviation.